Thanks for coming in today. Why don't we start by you telling me a bit about yourself and your experience in digital marketing?
Of course. I've been in digital marketing for about 5 years now, working across different areas like SEO, social media, and content marketing. I love the mix of creativity and strategy it involves.
That's great. Let's dive into SEO. How do you typically approach it?
I usually begin with thorough keyword research to understand what the audience is looking for. From there, I focus on on-page and off-page SEO strategies to improve rankings and drive more traffic.
Can you give me an example of an SEO campaign that was particularly successful?
Sure. I worked with a client to revamp their website and optimize it for SEO. Over 6 months, we saw a 40% increase in organic traffic by focusing on long-tail keywords and improving the site's overall user experience.
Impressive. What tools do you use to track and improve SEO performance?
I'm comfortable using Google Analytics, SEMrush, and Ahrefs. They help with keyword tracking, backlink analysis, and overall site health monitoring.
How do you stay updated on the latest SEO trends?
I follow industry leaders on blogs like Moz and Search Engine Journal, and I also attend webinars and online courses whenever I can to stay on top of algorithm changes and new strategies.
What about social media? Which platforms do you work with most often?
I've managed campaigns on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Recently, I've also started exploring TikTok and Pinterest, depending on the audience.
When you create a social media strategy for a brand, what's your process?
First, I identify the brand's goals and who their target audience is. Then, I develop a content calendar and track performance metrics to adjust the strategy as needed.
Can you share an example of a successful social media campaign?
Absolutely. I ran a user-generated content campaign for a fashion brand, where we encouraged customers to share their photos with the products. Engagement increased by 25% within a few weeks.
How do you handle negative comments or feedback on social media?
I believe in addressing negative feedback quickly and professionally. I usually start by replying publicly to acknowledge the issue, then offer to take the conversation offline to resolve it privately.
Let's talk paid advertising. Which platforms do you have experience with?
I've managed paid campaigns on Google Ads, Facebook Ads, and LinkedIn. I focus on optimizing ad spend and ensuring we're reaching the right audience for the best return on investment.
How do you measure the success of a paid campaign?
I track key metrics like click-through rate, CTR, cost per click, CPC, and conversion rates. Ultimately, I measure ROI to ensure the campaign aligns with our goals.
How do you optimize a campaign that's underperforming?
First, I analyze the data to identify where the issue might be, whether it's the targeting, the ad creative, or the landing page. I'll then run A/B tests and make adjustments to improve performance.
How important is content in your digital marketing strategy?
Content is essential. It's the foundation of everything from SEO to social media. A strong content strategy helps build brand authority and connects with the audience on a deeper level.
How do you ensure your content resonates with the audience?
I rely on audience research to understand their pain points and interests. Then, I create content that educates, entertains, or solves their problems in a way that feels authentic.
Can you walk me through a content marketing campaign you've worked on?
I recently developed a blog series for a tech company that addressed common challenges in the industry. It not only drove traffic to their site but also boosted their SEO rankings for key terms.
Let's talk about analytics. How do you track the performance of your campaigns?
I typically use Google Analytics and tools like SEMrush to track metrics like traffic, bounce rates, and conversion rates. I also create regular reports to monitor progress and adjust strategies.
How do you use data to make decisions?
I look at the trends and patterns in the data to see what's working and what's not. From there, I make data-driven adjustments to improve performance.
What metrics do you prioritize when measuring the success of a digital marketing campaign?
It depends on the campaign goals, but I often prioritize metrics like traffic, conversion rates, engagement, and of course, return on investment.
How do you balance short-term goals with long-term growth in your strategy?
I make sure that our short-term tactics, like paid ads, also align with our long-term goals of building brand awareness and customer loyalty.
How do you collaborate with other teams, like sales or product development, to ensure alignment?
Communication is key. I regularly meet with these teams to understand their objectives and ensure the digital marketing strategy supports their goals.
Can you share an example of how customer data influenced one of your marketing decisions?
Sure. In a previous role, we noticed from customer feedback that there was confusion around a product feature. We created educational content around it, which reduced support requests and improved customer satisfaction.
What's your approach to email marketing?
I focus on personalization and segmentation. I test different subject lines, content, and calls to action to optimize open rates and conversions.
How do you ensure compliance with GDPR and other privacy regulations in your email campaigns?
I make sure all email lists are opt-in, provide a clear opt-out option, and maintain thorough records of consent to comply with GDPR and other regulations.
Tell me about a challenging situation you've faced in digital marketing and how you handled it.
We experienced a drop in traffic after a Google algorithm update. I conducted a full audit and identified areas where we could improve. After making the necessary changes, we saw traffic recover within a few weeks.
How do you manage multiple campaigns at once and stay organized?
I prioritize tasks based on deadlines and impact. I also use project management tools like Trello or Asana to keep everything on track.
What do you find most challenging about digital marketing?
The constantly evolving landscape can be tough to keep up with, but it's also what makes the job so interesting and exciting.
How do you handle tight deadlines and high-pressure situations?
I break the project down into manageable tasks, stay focused, and make sure I'm communicating with my team. Staying organized helps a lot.
Where do you see digital marketing heading in the next few years?
I think personalization and AI-driven strategies will continue to grow, and there will be more focus on voice search and video content as consumer habits shift.
Finally, why do you think you're a good fit for this role?
I believe my experience in SEO, social media, and data-driven